Hello and welcome to this channel about cryptocurrency education. We've seen another price increase of Bitcoin. In the last 24 hours, there was a huge jump again. It's now taken Bitcoin to $41,679 when I record this video on the 31st of July. This is significant because we are getting very close to the $42,000 mark, which for me personally, that is an important level. I believe if Bitcoin stays above that level for a few days, we're heading towards the new, we're probably in the new bull cycle, or not bull cycle, rather the last part of the current bull cycle, which will probably last until the end of the year. At least that's my personal point of view. I'd like to talk about why it's time to buy ADA now. And if I say that, that's not financial advice, that's purely my own opinion, so please bear that in mind. These are only my thoughts, and if I say it's time to buy ADA now, that's what I believe for myself, and obviously you can use that to do your own research and create your own opinion. But for me personally, historically, we've now seen a shorter bear market, after which we are now, I believe, heading into the next bull market. I said in previous videos that I believe that this would happen in the second half of July, also according to the stock to flow model. And if we look at the 2013 bull cycle, which is very similar actually to this one's, especially considering or looking at the stock to flow model, which I don't have open now, but I showed it to you in previous videos. And that basically told me, I base my thoughts on that. And I think sort of at the moment it's looking like that. So as we always know, and also historically, the Bitcoin is normally leading the way in these bull cycles, and all the other cryptos, or most of them, there are a few exceptions like Quant and ICP, but most of them are related to the Bitcoin price still, even though they are completely independent projects. But because we are still early in the crypto days, most crypto prices are still related to Bitcoin in some way. So if Bitcoin goes up, they go up as well. But there's normally a little bit of a time delay. Even though if Bitcoin goes up, the other ones normally go up as well. But then as soon as Bitcoin has reached its peak again in the bull cycle, that's normally when the ADA, or not the ADA coins, the altcoins are going up even more. So we could see that. We could see that back in 2018. This is the Cardano price. We saw, I think, the peak, a bit hard to see here, on around the 4th of January, whereas we saw the Bitcoin peak, again, a little bit difficult to see, but it was around the 19th of December. So there was a time delay of 2 weeks when, after Bitcoin hit its all-time high back then, that ADA hit its all-time high. And also we could see that again, I believe it was here around, and this again is the Bitcoin price. We saw Bitcoin's current all-time high, I believe on this chart we can see it is around the 13th of April, whereas the all-time high of ADA or Cardano was achieved on, a bit difficult here, 15th of May. So again, a few weeks difference here, 2 to 3 weeks of difference between seeing an all-time high on Bitcoin and seeing an all-time high on ADA. So assuming we are in the next big bull run of Bitcoin, and assuming that ADA has a lot to catch up, I believe it's time to buy ADA now, because it won't get cheaper if that's the case. Yes, there are always, and please always understand, there are always short-term price fluctuations. Just because we're in this current bull cycle now, possibly, it doesn't mean that Bitcoin couldn't go back to 35,000, because we've seen quite a bit of an increase in the last 7 days here of 23%. It could be that short-term we go back to 35 or whatever, and then go up again. So that can always happen in the short term. But if we look at the medium term, if we look at like from now to the end of the year, we are probably going up. That's what I believe personally. Also looking at stock to flow, that will mean that ADA will follow. And ADA has a lot to catch up, because in the last 7 days, we've seen a Bitcoin in price increase of around 24%, whereas Cardano only increased by 9%. And historically, in the last year and this year as well, Cardano has outperformed Bitcoin quite a bit. So not in the last 7 days and not in the last month, I believe, but looking at the last 12 months, we've seen a big outperformance of Cardano over Bitcoin. So assuming that will happen again is my first assumption. First assumption, ADA will outperform Bitcoin, also because of what's going on in the Cardano space with Alonzo and everything, and it all seems to go well. Cardano is growing all the time. I did the Cardano 360 update video a few days ago, and there's just so much happening. It is unbelievable. So yeah, that will happen this year, and because of that, I believe Cardano will outperform Bitcoin. Also, Cardano has historically outperformed Bitcoin. Also, and that's the next assumption, is that altcoins will outperform Bitcoin in the current bull run, because that's what they did last time. And there's always a time delay after Bitcoin's all-time high until the alt season all-time high, which normally takes place a few weeks after the Bitcoin bull run. Yeah, so they sort of follow Bitcoin, but then as soon as Bitcoin has reached its all-time high, it moves over to Ethereum, and then it sort of moves over to the other altcoins. So that's why I believe it's time to buy ADA now. I believe it won't get much cheaper. Even if it does get cheaper, it might be only for a very short period of time. I think Cardano or ADA has defended the $1 mark quite substantially now for a few times, and it shows that it is a very, very massive resistance level. I don't really think anymore that we go below it, not in the current bull run at least. And for me, that means I buy even more ADA. I rather buy ADA today than tomorrow, because I'm a long-term investor anyway. So for me personally, it's not that important if I buy now, you know, for a price of 130, or if I buy for 120 or 140. But obviously still, it makes still a little bit of a difference. And for me, it just means I don't want to miss these huge profits. And maybe I even open some shorter term positions as well, because what I normally do, I just accumulate ADA. But it's sort of also nice to participate in some short-term gains. So maybe I will, in addition to my long-term portfolio, which I will never touch, or at least not for the next few years, I may open a few shorter-term positions. I have that for Bitcoin, but I might do that for ADA and maybe some other altcoins as well, just to participate in the current bull run or in the next new big bull run. And so that might then help me to make some short-term profits as well, and just participate in some gains and make some profits in addition to accumulating ADA as well. And I focus on ADA because ADA, as I said, has a lot to catch up, as some other altcoins. But I mean, Ripple has increased as well, but that's because of all these positive news coming from Japan, and possibly there is also a settlement in reach. But yeah, so these are my reasons why I believe it's time to buy ADA now, especially looking at the hard fork that is going to happen in September, possibly October, but I still believe it will be September. The team are doing a great job, so I think it's time to buy ADA, for myself at least, now before the hard fork, because it will make such a big difference. Alright, so hopefully you liked the video. If you did, then please smash the like button, and if you want to follow me on this crypto journey, subscribe to the channel. Thanks a lot for watching, and see you in the next video. Bye!